face in the side of that rock. It looks like... See? It looks like Santa Claus.
A business that is dedicated to our community. They're involved with every...
It doesn't look anything. It's Santa Claus's ghost in the side of the rock.
They don't keep changing things. Where's Marcus? Your neighbors shop there.
It looks like a happy ghost face.
But when I was 12, I was just as much of a nobody as you are now. In fact, I'd say I was even more of a nobody. I mean, a few people have heard of you, haven't they? All that business with he who must not be named. He glanced at the lightning star on Harry's forehead. I know, it's not quite as good as winning Which Weekly's Most Charming Smile Award 5 times in a row, as I have. But it's a start, Harry. It's a start. He gave Harry a hearty wink and strode off. Harry stood stunned for a few seconds, then, remembering he was supposed to be in the greenhouse, he opened the door and slid inside. Professor Sprout was standing behind a trestle, except him and Ron, who was whacking his wand furiously on the desk. Stupid, useless thing! Right home for another one, Harry suggested, as the one
miles and miles of this stuff.
Was like a fire hydrant. Oh yeah, and get another howler back, said Ron, stuffing the now hissing
dry,
in his back.
Very dry.
It's your own fault your one got snapped. They went down to lunch, where Ron's mood was not improved.
Casper the Friendly Ghost. That's the kind of store I like. Wheeler's IGA. Basin, Wyoming. Is what this is called.
Looking table was brought into taking some by person. The steam pouring from under her vivid hair gave the impression that her whole head was on fire. Raindrops the size of bullets thundered on the castle windows for days on end. The lake rose, the flower beds turned into muddy streams, and Hagrid's pumpkins swelled to the size of garden sheds. Oliver Wood's enthusiasm for regular training sessions, however, late one stormy Saturday afternoon,
no, it won't hurt anything.
Returning to Gryffindor Tower, drenched to the seam and looking around. He wore a dashing plumed hat on his long curly hair, and a tunic with a ruff, which concealed the fact that his neck was almost completely completely severed. He was pale as smoke, and Harry could see right through him to the dark sky and torrential rain outside. "You look troubled, young Potter," said Nick, folding a transparent letter as he spoke and tucking it inside his doublet. "So do you," said Harry. Nearly headless Nick waved an elegant hand. "A matter of no importance. It's not as though I really want you to try. Thought I'd imply, but apparently I don't fulfill requirements." In spite of his airy tone, there was a look of great bitterness on his face. "But you would think, wouldn't you," he erupted suddenly, pulling the letter back out of his pocket, "that getting hit 45 times in the neck with a blunt axe would qualify you to join the Headless Hunt?" "Oh, yes," said Harry, who was obviously supposed to agree. "I mean, nobody wishes more than I do that it had all been quick and clean in my head. I mean, it would have saved me a good deal of pain and ridicule, however." Nearly headless Nick shook his letter open and read furiously. "We can only accept Hudson, whose heads apart," took several deep breaths, and then said in a
Wow, isn't that pretty?
"So, what's
We're at Gray Bowl now.
anything I can do?" "No."
Anybody see any gray bulls?
"You know where we can get 7 free Nimbus 2001s for our match against
Very
Liverpool."
industrial
The
right
rest
there.
of Harry's sentence was drowned out by a high-pitched mewling from somewhere near his ankles. He looked down and found himself gazing into a pair of lamp-like yellow eyes. It was Mrs. Norris, the skeletal grey cat who was used by the caretaker, Argus Finch, as a sort of deputy in his endless battle against students. "You'd better get out of here, Harry," said Nick quickly. "Filch isn't in a good mood." A gloomy goodbye to nearly
All these
headless
banks
Nick,
have this
followed Filch
sculptures in
downstairs,
front of them.
doubling the number of muddy footprints on the floor. Harry had never been inside Filch's office before. It was a place most students avoided. The room was
That's a
dingy
bowling
and
room?
windowless,
Jeez,
lit by
small.
a single oil lamp dangling from the low ceiling. A faint smell of fried
Wagon
fish
wheels on the front of their
wooden filing cabinets stood around the walls. From their labels, Harry could see that they contained details of every pupil Filch had ever punished. Fred and George Weasley had an end man flat-footed from the office, Mrs. Norris speaking alongside him. Peeves was the school poltergeist, a grinning airborne menace who lived to cause havoc in
We've now left Gray Bowl.
Harry didn't much like Peeves.
It was
but couldn't
fast.
help feeling grateful for his timing. Hopefully whatever Peeves had done, and it sounded as though he'd wrecked something very big this time, would distract Filch from Harry. Thinking that he should probably let the envelope open and pull out the sheet of parchment inside, more curly silver writing on the front page said, "Used to sneer at my feeble charms, but 1 month into your fabulous quick spell course, and I succeeded in turning
Light
her
museum
into
thing
a
there.
quick spell." Fascinated, Harry thumbed through the rest of the envelope's contents. Why on earth did Filch want a quick spell course? Did this mean he wasn't a proper wizard? Harry was just reading Lesson 1, Holding Your
Shady
Wand,
places or
some useful
anything?
tips. When shuffling footsteps
Oh,
outside
little
told him
shelters.
Filch was coming back. Stuffing the parchment back into the envelope, Harry threw it back onto the desk just as the door opened. Filch was looking triumphant. Ron and Hermione that the sorting had seriously
Some rain
considered
over there.
him in Slytherin. He could remember,
Black.
as though it were yesterday, the small voice
We're gonna go in it or
snuggling
not.
in his ear when he'd placed the hat on his
See
head
the rain
year
coming
before.
down.
You could be great, you know. It's all here in your head, and Slytherin would help you on your way to greatness. No doubt about that.
But Harry, who had already heard of Slytherin's house reputation for turning out dark wizards, had thought desperately, not Slytherin. And the Hatter said,
Oh, well, if you're sure, better be Gryffindor.
as they were shunted along in the throng, Colin Creevy went past.
How many miles are we to Yellowstone?
Colin, said Harry automatically.
Harry, a boy in my class has been saying you're...
But Colin was so small he couldn't fight against the tide of people bearing him toward the great hall. They heard him squeak,
See you, Harry.
and he was gone. What's a boy in his class saying about you? Hermione wondered. That I'm Slytherin's heir, I expect, said Harry, his stomach dropping another inch or so, as he suddenly remembered the way Justin Finch Fletchley had run away from him at lunchtime. People here will believe anything, said Ron in disgust. The crowd thinned and they were able to climb the next staircase without difficulty. Do you really think there's a chamber of secrets? Ron asked Hermione, whose pain, where about 20
Storm over there.
were scuttling, apparently fighting to get through a small crack. A long silvery thread was dangling like a rope, as though they had all climbed it in their hurry to get outside. Have you ever seen spiders act like that? One of them was dangling off its hinges. Hermione put her fingers to her lips and set off toward the end stall. When she reached it, she said, "Hello, Myrtle. How are you?" Harry and Ron went to look. Moaning Myrtle was floating above the tank of the toilet, picking a spot on her chin. "This is a girl's bathroom," she said, eyeing Ron and Harry suspiciously. "They're not girls." Myself. Then, of course, I remembered that I'm already dead, said Ron helpfully. Myrtle gave a tragic sob, rose up in the air, turned over, and dived head. "Girls' bathroom," he gasped. "What were you? Just having a look around." Ron shrugged. "Clues, you know." Percy swelled in a manner that reminded
Cody
Harry
now.
of Mrs. Weasley. "Get away!"
We're in Cody.
There, Percy said, striding toward them and starting to bustle them along, flapping his arms.
Buffalo Bill
Care what
Cody,
this
no
looks
doubt.
like? Coming back here while everyone's at dinner? Why shouldn't we be here? Said the season, I believe. Gryffindor against Slytherin, is it not? I hear you're a useful player. I was a seeker too. I was asked to try for the national squad, but preferred to dedicate my life to the eradication of the dark forces. Still, if ever you feel the need for a little private training, don't hesitate to ask. Always happy to pass on my expertise to less able players. Harry made an indistinct noise in his
Cody
throat,
has a lot
and
of
hurried off after Ron
bars
and
here.
Hermione. "I don't believe it," he said, as the three of them examined the signature on the note. "He didn't even look at the book we wanted." "That's because he's a brainless git," said Ron. "But who cares? We got what we needed."
Cigarette
"He's
bar.
not a brainless git," said Hermione
What?
shrilly, as they half ran toward the library. "Just
The way back?
said you were the best student of the year." They dropped their voices.
Oh, our
again
cousin?
from the
I don't know.
service of the library. Madame Pinks, the librarian, was a thin, irritable woman who looked like an
raining?
underfed vulture. "Most urgent patience," she repeated suspiciously, trying to take the note from Hermione, but Hermione wouldn't let go. "I was wondering if I could keep it," she said breathlessly. "Oh, come on," said Ron,
It's interesting
wrenching it from
shops.
her grasp and thrusting it at Madame Pinks. "We'll get you another autograph. Lockhart will sign anything if it stands still long enough." Madame Pinks held the note up to the light as though determined to detect a forgery, but it passed the test. She stalked away between the lofty shelves and returned several minutes later carrying a large and mouldy-looking book. Hermione put it carefully into her bag, and they left, trying not to walk too quickly or look too guilty.
Taco John's
5
again.
minutes later, they were barricaded in Moaning Myrtle's out-of-order bathroom once again. Hermione had overridden Ron's objections by pointing out that it was the last place anyone in their right minds would go, so they were guaranteed some privacy. Moaning Myrtle was crying noisily in her stall, but they were ignoring her, and she lay. Hermione opened most potent potions carefully.
Buffalo Bill Historic Center. Ooh!
It was clear from a glance why it belonged in a restricted section. Some of the potions had effects almost too gruesome to think about, and there were some very unpleasant illustrations which included a man who seemed to have been turned inside out, and a witch spouting several extra pairs of arms out of them. Hermione continued as though she hadn't heard it. "We don't have to worry about that yet, though, because we add those bits last." Ron turned speechless to Harry, who had another worry. "Do you realize how much we're going to have to steal, Hermione? Shredded skin of the boomslang? That's definitely not in the student's cupboard. What are we going to do? Break into Snape's private stores? I don't know if this is a good idea." Hermione shrugged. Fred and George were now playing so closely on either side that Harry could see
Timmy.
nothing all except their flailing arms and had no chance to look for a snitch, let alone catch him. "Someone's tampered with this ladder," Fred grunted, swinging his back with all his might at it as it launched a new attack on Harry. "We need time."
Pretty rough looking over here.
To signal to him and stop the bludger breaking Harry's nose at the same time.
water slide there.
The mad bludgeon.
It's falling apart.
Said Wood as the griffin
It's falling apart.
Yeah, I think they had it tore down.
Fred, George, where were you when that bludgeon?
It's a little bit abandoned there.
We were 20 feet above us, stopping the other bludgeon from murdering Harry, Oliver, said George angrily. Someone's fixed it. It won't leave Harry alone. It hasn't gone for anyone else all game. The Slytherins must have done something to it. But the
Yellowstone entrance.
since our last practice, and there was nothing wrong with them then, said Wood.
That's a good thing.
Madam Hooch was walking toward them.
Imagine getting all the way. Ooh, look down there.
See the Slytherin team jeering and pointing in his direction. Listen, said Harry as she came nearer
River.
and nearer.
Look at that. Isn't that cool?
All the time.
Might be able to see better just by looking down.
Flies up my sleeve. Go back to the rest of the team and let me deal with
I
them.
smell sulfur again.
Everything, said Fred. It'll take your head off. Wood was looking from Harry to the Weasleys. Oliver, this is insane, said Alicia.
Is anybody listening to this tape?
Tell them to leave me alone.
We're about an hour from Yellowstone.
Get the snitch or die trying. What a stupid thing to tell him. Madam Hooch had joined him. Ready to resume play? She asked Wood. Wood looked at the determined look on Harry's face. All right, he said. Fred, George, you heard Harry. Leave him alone and let him deal with the bludgeon on his own.
Pretty far down
The
there.
rain was falling more heavily now. On Madam Hooch's whistle, Harry kicked hard into the air and heard the telltale whoosh of the bludgeon behind him. Higher and higher Harry climbed. He looked and swooped, spiraled, zigzagged and rolled. Slightly dizzy, he nevertheless kept his eyes wide open. Rain was speckling his glasses and ran up his nostrils.
See how
upside down, avoiding another
layers aren't flat,
he could hear laughter from the crowd. He knew he must look very stupid, but the road of bludgeon was heavy and couldn't change directions quickly as Harry could. He began a kind of roller coaster ride.
This road looks kind of weird.
Squinting through the silver sheets of rain.
There's some of that water. It looks pretty clear.
Listening in Harry's ear told him the bludgeon had just missed him again. He turned right over and sped in the opposite direction. Training for the ballet, Potter, yelled Malfoy as Harry was forced to do a stupid kind of twirl in midair to dodge the bludgeon. And he fled, the bludgeon trailing a few feet behind him, and then glaring back at Malfoy in hate with his arm break. Dimly dazed by the searing pain in his arm, he slid sideways on his rain-drenched drool, one knee still crooked over it, his right arm dangling useless at his side. The bludgeon came pelting back for a second attack, this time aiming at his face. Harry swerved out of the way. One idea firmly lodged in his numb brain. Get to Malfoy. Through a haze of rain and pain, he dived for the shivering, staring face below him.
Look, there's a tunnel up ahead.
Whining with fear.
Oh no, we're going through a tunnel. It's just like, hey, it's like the Bugs Bunny tunnels.
Careening out of Harry's way.
Where is it?
Harry took his remaining hand off his feet and made a wild snap. He felt his fingers close on the cold snitch and was now only gripping the broom with his legs. And there was a yell from the crowd below as he headed straight for the ground.
Think it's a painted-on tunnel?
I hope not.
With a splattering thud, he hit the mud and rolled off his broom.
There we go. Here we go.
Riddled with
Here we
pain,
go. We're under the mountain.
so from a distance, a group was whistling and shouting. He focused on the snitch.
Oh, look over there.
Aha, he said vaguely.
Look.
And he fainted. He came around, with him falling on his face, still lying on the field, with someone leaning over him. He saw a little
We're inside of a mountain.
Look at the walls, Mom. Yeah, we're inside of a mountain.
Kind of weird. This is the first time I've ever cut through a mountain. I see the light. I see the light. Go to the light.
Sort of
Looks like we're going to drop off the edge. Look.
Sort of like those tunnels they make for the roller coasters on roller coaster tycoon. This is Canadian right over here.
look on the map in a minute.
That's a pretty lake.
Let's see. The map.
It's all sparkly.
Read the map. I don't see. Looks like the river. I can read a map with a video camera.
That must be fun in
I think it's the Shoshone River, probably. The mouth of the river or something.
It's a lake caused by the dam back there.
No, it didn't say. Ooh, there's a house.
How do you like to live on the mountain?
I don't know. Mountain retreats. That's what it looks like.
It's the Buffalo Bill Reservoir.
Oh, the Buffalo Bill Reservoir. Okay. That's what it is. I remember when you said snap it out, but yeah. Canyon Lake Estates. Chris, you're going through withdrawal.
We finished this date.
Good grief.
The rest of the school was happily anticipating their Halloween feast.
You're not playing that video game, are you,
Leaning over him,
Chris?
saw a glitter of teeth. Oh no, not you, he moaned. Doesn't know what he's saying, said Lockhart loudly to the anxious crowd of Gryffindors pressing around them. Not to worry, Harry. I'm about to fit the road bludger into a box. He was still putting up a terrific fight. Stand back, said Lockhart, who was rolling up his jade green sleeve. No, don't, said Harry weakly. But Lockhart was twirling his wand, and a second later had directed it straight at Harry's arm. A strange and unpleasant sensation started at Harry's shoulder and spread all the way down to his fingertips. It felt as though Madame Pomfrey was holding a large bottle of something labelled Skelebro. You're in for a rough night, she said, pouring out a steaming beakerful and handing it to him. Redoing those is a master business. So was taking the skimmer. They had brought cakes, sweets, and bottles of pumpkin juice. They gathered around Harry's bed. Were just getting started on what promised to be a good party when Madame Pomfrey came storming over, shouting,
Look up there, you guys.
"He needs rest. He's got 33 bones to regrow. Out! Out!" And Harry was left alone.
Are you watching?
To distract him from the stabbing pains in his limb. Hours and hours later, Harry woke quite suddenly in the pitch blackness and gave a small yelp of pain. His arm now felt full of large splinters. For a second, he thought that was one broken. Then, with a thrill of "You Dobby, why didn't Harry Potter go back home when he missed the train?" Harry heaved himself up on his pillows and pushed Dobby's sponge away. "What are you doing here?" he said. "And how did you know I missed the train?" Dobby's lip trembled, and Harry was seized by a sudden suspicion. "It was you," he said slowly. "You stopped the Potter and sealed the gateway, and Dobby had to iron his hands." fine if the chamber really has been opened. Harry Potter risks his no. Dobby suddenly froze, his bat ears quivering. Harry heard it too. There were footsteps coming down the passageway outside. Dobby must go, breathed the elf, terrified. There was a loud crack, and Harry's fist was suddenly clenched on thin air. He slumped back into bed, eyes on the dark doorway to the hospital wing as the footsteps drew nearer. Next moment, Dumbledore was backing into the dormitory, wearing a long woolly dressing gown and a nightcap better than he did.
Look at that thing up there.
Oh, wow. Where is that? I can't see it. What is that?
I don't know.
My ears are popping. Shoshone. This is Shoshone National Forest. What am I talking about? Here's the Shoshone River. And there's the Planet of the Apes home up there. Collect those.
I thought they collect bears.
Oh, there's black bears here too.
Just said we entered grizzly bear country. Oh.
Which are better? Which are more harmful?
Hey, there's Wile E. Coyote up there.
Grizzly bears are bigger that live in the United States. Pronghorn that we saw today, and mountain goats. Mountain goats aren't really goats, they're actually an animal. Lydia.
Please close the window.
What's that? They like sleeping.
Yes, sir.
Bears are all sleeping.
Yes, sir.
You're hot? What'd you say?
It says grizzly bear information.
You can't wait to hear yourself on this tape, can you, Lydia?
Hey, you think we'll see Steve McFerrin while we're there? Who? You know, from Hawaii 5 Aloha. Welcome, Drano.
I can't believe you guys are talking about smoke. We're traveling together, but he's definitely not my boyfriend.
You can say that again.
Oh, my mistake. No, don't even think it.
Well,
do you think of this view, guys?
Can I get you gentlemen anything?
Yeah, diet soda and some coffee, please. Son, we got sun in Odyssey. This is Hawaii, a place of wonder and adventure.
Well, the Bonsai Corporation is sending us a tour.
Cease to be like that. No. Take it off the beaten path. See the essential Hawaiian.
The Essential Hawaiian.
Yeah, I read all about it in this here book here.
The Essential Hawaiian. Yeah, certainly explain it, right? Look, Mark, we wrote
No, don't you worry about it.
Those fingers like stuff there.
Weird.
You're going to have a great time. Lovely.
Here's your soda and
Whoa.
your coffee.
Oh my gosh, look up here.
2 asteroids.
Daddy, you got it.
Would you two like to be in touch?
Video cameras on. Video cameras on. Video cameras on.
Come on, Lawrence. Right behind you, Chief.
Jimmy. Don, would you go after Lawrence and Jimmy and make sure they stay out of trouble, please?
Look off, you guys, please.
Have fun on the islands. Ma'am? Yeah? I'm afraid I'm gonna need the blanket and pillow back now. Blanket and pillow? The ones in the bag. They're on airline property. They're not souvenirs? No. And neither are the silverware, the drinking glass, the food tray, the coffee pot, the flotation of this one with all the souvenirs around here.
What's that? Sounds like fun. Hey, what's going on? I'm protecting Donna's honor. What? That guy was making a pass at her.
He was putting a layer around my neck, Rodney. It's a traditional Hawaiian greeting.
Yeah, that's what they all say.
She's right, Rodney. See, they even have one for you.
Not me. I ain't wearing no flower necklace.
I'll take it.
Oh, she's dumb in the back of the video. What do you guys think? There's a cave back there. Do you see it?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
Chris, are you looking out?
Yes. Wake up.
Wonder when we're gonna get to the entrance of Yellowstone.
When are we gonna get to Yellowstone? Are we practically in Yellowstone?
Yeah.
Okay. Look up ahead. I expect to hear oohs and ahs back there. You're not excited about it? Wish the windshield wasn't so dirty.
Victims of heart attacks pushed their chests, CPR, but he did not know how to do it, and in any case could not do it with the pilot who was sitting up in the seat and still strapped in with a seatbelt. So he touched the pilot with the tips of the belt. Slightly.
Here's the entrance to Yellowstone. I'll take a picture. This is working very well. Let's put down again.
His eyes had passed over it 2 or 3 times before he saw what was written in tiny letters on top of the panel. Transmitter 221 was stamped in the metal, and it hit him finally that this was the radio. The radio.
How did you
Of course, he had to use the radio. When the pilot had been hit that way, he couldn't bring himself to say that the pilot was dead. Couldn't think of it. He had been trying to use the radio. Brian looked at the pilot. The headset was still on his head, turned sideways a bit from his jamming back into the seat, and the microphone switch was clipped into his belt. Brian had to get the headset from the pilot, had to reach over and get the headset from the pilot or he would not be able to use the radio to call for help. He had to reach over. His hands began trembling again. He did not want to touch the pilot, did not want to reach for him, but he had to get the radio. He lifted his hands from the wheel just slightly and held them, waiting to see what would happen. The plane flew on normally, smoothly. The radio's off. Now to do this thing. He turned and reached for the headset, slid it from the pilot's head, one eye on the plane, waiting for it to dive. The headset came easily. The microphone switch at the pilot's belt was jammed in
back and down. He says that a lot.
When he pulled, his
Down and
elbow
back.
bumped the wheel and pushed it in, and the plane started down in a shallow dive. Brian grabbed the wheel and pulled it back, too hard again, and the plane went through another series of stomach-wrenching swoops up and down before he could get it under control. When things had settled again, he pulled at the mic cord once more and at last jerked the cord free. It took him another second or two to place the headset on his own head and position the small microphone tube in front of his mouth. He had seen the pilot use it, had seen him depress the switch at his belt, so Brian pushed the switch in and blew into the mic. He heard the sound of his breath. Hello. Is there anybody listening on this? Hello. He repeated it 2 or 3 times and then waited, but heard nothing except his own breathing. Panic came then. He had been afraid. He had been stopped with the terror of what was happening, but now panic came and he began to scream into the microphone, scream over and over. Help! Somebody help me! I'm in this plane and don't know! I don't know! And he started crying with guff. But again, he heard nothing but the sound of his own sobs in the microphone, his own screams mocking him coming back into his ears. The microphone. Awareness cut it. You had to turn the mic switch off to hear anybody else. He reached to his belt and released the switch. The plane is flying now, but I don't know how much longer. Over. Lost signal. Your location, please. Flight number. Remembered the time on the bank clock in the wall.
On our way to the campground.
Then the temperature.
It's raining.
And the date. All the numbers were part of the memory. All of his life was part of the memory. Terry had just turned to smile at him about something, and Brian looked over Terry's head and saw her. His mother.
Is that
She
Yellowstone
was
Lake?
sitting in a station wagon. A strange wagon.
No.
He saw her and she did
Sylvan
not
Lake.
see him. Brian should happened to his head.
Wow,
He rolled on his back and felt his sides and his legs moving through the
Oh
snow.
dear.
He rubbed his arms. Nothing seemed to be shattered or even sprained all that badly.
Pretty.
When he was 9, he had plowed his small dirt bike
All the
into a
pine
parked
trees
car
here.
and broken his ankle. Had to wear a cast for 8 weeks, and there was nothing now like that. He could see the reflections of the trees at the other end of the lake. Upside down in the water, they seemed almost like another forest, an upside-down forest to match the real one. As he watched a large bird, he pulled himself up to stand against the tree and stretched, bringing new aches and pains. His back muscles must have been hurt as well. They almost seemed to tear when he stretched. And while the pain in his forehead seemed to be abating somewhat, just trying to stand made him weak enough to nearly collapse. The backs of his hands were puffy and his eyes were almost swollen shut from the mosquitoes, and he saw everything through a narrow squint. Not that there was much to see, he thought, scratching the bites. In front of him lay the lake, blue and deep. He had a sudden picture of the plane, sunk in the lake. And good luck, his parents wouldn't have divorced because of the secret, and he wouldn't have been flying with a pilot who had a heart attack, and he wouldn't be here where he had to have good luck to keep from being
To
destroyed.
that beach.
If you keep walking back from good luck, he thought, you'll come to bad luck on your feet. At first,
It's a
Brian
fox! A coyote!
he somehow knew what it was. It seemed
I couldn't quite get it on my
Then a
video
small
camera.
brown head popped to the surface of the water.
Hey, look at
near
the
him, and
steaming
began
water over
swimming
there.
off down the short
Boy,
leg
is that
of
a
the
hot
hill, leaving
spring?
a V of ripples behind, and he remembered where he'd seen
Looked like it, kinda. Did you see that
Smells like
coyote?
it.
out over the water. Everything was green, so green it went into him. The forest was largely made up of pines and spruce, with stands of some low brush smeared here and there, and thick grass and some other kind of very small brush all over. He couldn't identify most of it except the evergreens, and some leafy trees he thought might be aspen. He'd seen pictures of aspens in the mountainy little splops all over the sides of the lake, along the shore, as fish began jumping. Hundreds of them, jumping and slapping the water. Brian watched them for a time, still in the half-daze, still not thinking well. The scenery was very pretty, he thought, and there were new things to look at.
Auto
But
repair
it was
shop
all
here.
a green and blue blur, and he was used to the gray and black of the city, and sat with his back
up
against,
there.
looking down on the lake with the sun warming him, and in a few moments he scrunched down and was asleep.
Wild. We saw our first wild buffalo.
His eyes snapped open. Lake. It was water, but he did not know if he could drink it.
Buffalo crossing. This is cool. Not really, because we'll have to wait for him. Over there's a buffalo.
Anybody want to go out and kiss a buffalo?
It's not focusing correctly. Gosh, I didn't know they were just like everywhere. Camera's not working. You getting a videotape? Give me the video. Got it. I'll take it. Some hot
He
springs
was so
across
used to
the
having
lake.
food just be there, just always being there. When he was hungry,
Sure
he
it's not
went to the
fire?
icebox or to the store or sat down at a meal his mother cooked. Oh, he thought, remembering the meal now. Oh. It was the last Thanksgiving, last year. The last Thanksgiving they had as a family before his mother demanded the divorce and his father moved out in the following January. Brian already knew the secret, but did not know it would cause them to break up, and thought sand and looked up at the sun.
That's from a fire, but
It was
not
still high.
recent. Not
He didn't
like
know what time
this
it
year.
must be.
That's
At
the
home, it
last.
would be 1 or 2 of us somewhere that high. At home, at 1 or 2, his mother would be putting away the lunch dishes and getting ready for her exercise class. No, that would. He shook his head, had to stop that kind of thinking. The sun was still high, and that meant that he had some time before
Grant
darkness.
Village, only 2 miles.
He didn't want to be away from his,
Finally.
he almost called it his home, shelter when it came to be dark. He didn't want to be anywhere in the woods
Look
when
at all
it came
these
to
burnt
be dark.
trees.
And he didn't want to get lost.
That's our restaurant and store. Campground to the left. We're here, yeah. We saw bison right here, I guess.
We saw a bunch of buffaloes. There were some...
Ready again, held the hatchet backward, tensed, and struck 4 quick blows. Sparks came down and he leaned forward as fast as he could and blew.
It's not a very
Too
good
hard.
picture.
There was a bright, almost intense
take it
glow
for
that
ya.
was gone. He'd blown it out.
Want me to take
Another
you?
set of strikes.
Okay, I took it.
More sparks. He leaned and blew, but gently this time, holding back and aiming the stream of air from his
Wow,
nostril
that's a
at the brightest
buffalo if
spot.
I've ever seen one.
5 these he threw in the shelter, went back for more, threw those in and squatted to break and feed the hungry flames. When the small wood was going well, he went out and found larger wood, and did not relax
Look
until
at
that was
that.
going. Then he leaned back against the wood brace of his
That'd be a
door
nice
opening
vacation.
and smiled. I have a friend, he thought. I have a friend now. A hungry friend, but a good one. I have a friend named Fire. Hello, Fire. The curve of the rock back made an almost perfect drawing flue that carried the smoke up through the cracks of the roof but held the heat.
There's our van.
If he kept the fire small, it would be perfect, and would keep anything like the porcupine from coming through the door again. A friend and a guard, he thought. So much from a little spark, a friend and a guard from a tiny spark. He looked around and wished he had somebody to tell this thing, to show this thing he had done. But there was nobody. Nothing but the trees and the sun and
I
the
gotta go back
breeze
out.
and the lake. Nobody.
Way back into that
And he
area.
thought,
rolling thoughts, the smoke curling up over his head and the smile still half on his face, he thought, I wonder what they're doing now. I wonder what my father's doing now. I wonder what my mother's doing now. I wonder if she's with him.
It'll probably be closer when it comes out, but it's like turning around a pair of binoculars.
Yeah.
That's why you gotta be careful with your pictures, honey. Got the Old Faithful Inn back there. Wow. Look at the Old Faithful Inn over there. That's
big.
Is that like a big hotel?
I think it is.
Nice.
Well, it's back that way. We gotta go back around again.
There's a post office down there. Oh, that reminds me, I want to get postcards. It's stamps.
Are there any more geysers here?
Yeah.
I'm gonna bring. I'll carry these back. The binoculars.
Okay.
I remember when they had geysers at that lake at Christopher's Island.
They still do.
No, they plugged them up. They had them for 1 year and they plugged them up.
Look at all the fire damage. There's that buffalo again.
Yep.
Just wanted to see what it was back there. Oh, this is still from 1988, huh? There is new growth, though, already. But the old spindly things are not gonna... So we're not gonna go on any trail. I know. Timmy, hey Timmy, don't do that right there.
And that girl's like,
Lydia, don't stand on Old Faithful.
well, this boy.
No, you shouldn't laugh because somebody probably did that.
This boy died at age 9 because he fell into a crusted pool in 1970.
Yeah. Courtney, you're a movie star. Timmy, don't take a picture of me taking a picture. Bubbling. So this is the famous Old Faithful that you see on TV.
I've never seen it on TV. I've heard of it.
I've seen it on Bugs Bunny cartoons.
Yeah. Oh, and Dennis the Menace. Old Faithful!
Timmy. I know. Sure I don't trip. And all the people sitting around and looking at it. We're waiting for it to blow. Another big geyser down there. Woo! That's not Old Faithful. This is Old Faithful, though. It's on. Only like 60-some degrees today. There's some seats over there. What time's it supposed to go? Yeah, grab them.
Like 20 minutes.
In 20 minutes? Okay. I won't videotape this whole time then. We've got about 20 minutes for this thing to go off.
Now, sometimes it's not a good eruption, you know?
Hey guys,
They know how
you guys,
Seen quite a few buffalo.
hey, the sun's kind of blocking my view here of your ear. Something was happening there. Timmy, did you see that? Wonder how much tape I have on this.
That's your clothes!
Sound like a whale.
Whoa!
It's not.
Should I take another picture of it when it's really going? What do they say? And now it's time. Just up here. 25's not in Montana and Wyoming. What's that?
Okay, pretty quick. You're going to lose some blood. Coming this way.
I can hear it. Can you take a picture?
Had to take it. I missed it. Got it. Take it again. Take it again. Take it again.
I have. I've taken it like 10 times.
Okay, then that's fine.
I got 13 pictures.
Wow!
Take one like this, Timmy.
Mom said.
Oh. Whoa.
I got it when I was halfway up.
Time to go.
Look at that. Look how high it is. How did you do all that? What time is it now? Put it on quick.
Okay, guys, go on out there.
Kevin, go out there. I'll get a picture of you.
Turn around, guys. Kevin, turn around. Quick.
Wait.
Where's Chris?
Go ahead, just take it.
You don't have a camera. Got it. I moved!
You got it. You're over and you can
Fine.
Hey, Kevin, turn around.
Turn around. Oh, nice. That time you didn't. Now we don't. Hey, Dad, I took 4 pictures.
Okay.
That's worth their money.
Okay, I've gotten him in other pictures before. Pose so we could freeze this in a digital picture. Scoot. Okay. Smile, make it look like a real picture. Okay.
to wait another 53 minutes for it to fill up again.
No. Boy, it's good thing we don't have smell-o-vision on this camera because it's smelly. Smells like sulfur. Eggs. Is it warm?
Oh! No, it's not hot. It's not freezing.
Okay.
Hot? You hot, Jordan?
Okay, you guys, come on. Lydia. Lydia. Here's the stream from Old Faithful. It's like all this water that comes from it, I guess. Now it's ready. Does it say REC in there?
Yeah.
Leave the red button go. I got it.
Say hi, Timmy.
Okay, I'm turning it off.
Hi.
No, it's still on.
It's still on. No? How warm is it? Like bath?
Yeah.
I will, but I have the camera right now.
I'll take the camera.
The thing that's sticking up.
Wow.
The beehive. We'll walk over there.
It's like a stream.
Somebody else was staying out with us tonight. Marty, what you got?
Okay. You cook a chicken in that. Yeah. We are now at Tower Falls.
Whoa! Good
Alright, come on, Pete. You still gotta watch your arm off. Don't go to the top.
Tell the boys, take your shoes off. Chris. This is Tower Falls, and it is a tower. That's far enough, Courtney. That's far enough. Put your shoes back here. Put them back here, Timmy. You pick my socks. With your bare feet? No. Get your feet in the water, cool them off a little bit. I know.
I can barely let it go.
Well, just help her can in the water. Okay. Are you hurt?
Yeah.
Honey, it's okay.
And I hurt my back really hard.
Let me see it. Let me see it. I can't. Well, I tried to get you in time. Timmy. Watch out, Timmy. Don't walk on the edge.
Comincia a risalire la velocità da simulazione in
Are you going down there? I don't know if I want to or not. I guess I will. Help Lydia! Guys, help Lydia! You guys aren't very helpful. Honey, maybe you better dry your feet off again. Took forever to get your shoes on before. Can't believe you got them off again. Takes 20 minutes. Timmy, if you're going to get in the water, take your shoes.
Cold water.
This is Yellowstone Lake right beside our campground. Back there is our campground. Sorry about the sun. This is like a white lake or something. It's kind of weird. It's pretty though. I don't remember if it's called Lake Yellowstone or Yellowstone Lake. I think it's Yellowstone Lake. Is that water really freezing? They said the water's like 40 degrees.
Saying bottled water, like that's been sitting in.
That's a nice castle. You know, that's one of the best darn castles I've ever seen in my life. Really. It's too close.
Yeah.
Okay. What kind of a sandcastle did you make?
A face. Go look at it.
Here, take the camera. What are you doing?
My feet.
That's volcanic rock. No, it's probably not. I feel like we're on the island of Hawaii. Not really. I don't see any major waves to surf on. I'm going to look at Chris's sand sculpture. He's quite talented at this. Oh, yes, it is lovely. It's a melon head. A great pumpkin or something. I'm not sure what. What is it?
Person.
Person, right? Must be the headless ghost. Oh no, it's a head. It's just a head ghost. It's not headless because it's just a head. Whatever. Alrighty then.
Did you go in the water?
A little bit. That's as far as I want you to go. It's too cold.
The sand is soft out.
Lydia, that's far enough.
Pick up your feet. See my face over there? See my fish over there?
Merry Christmas. Oh. Let me rock on my leg. Don't go out deep. No, they tell us you're not allowed to swim in there because it's too cold. It'll freeze you. You get hypothermia. Do you want hypothermia?
What?
Do you want hypothermia?
Huh?
I said, do you want hypothermia?
What's that?
When your heart stops because you're too cold.
No.
Okay. What was that, Lydia?
Oh, you stepped on my face.
I don't think she saw it.
Lydia, you stepped on my face. That's your size foot. No, wait, that's your size foot, Courtney.
She didn't see it.
Mom, a cat pie!
It's a buffalo pie. It only took him about 1 minute, so it wasn't a big deal. Look how fast he's doing it. Fastest sculpture artist. Sculptor. I'm not supposed to have pets. You're dogs. That joke's been done already.
The skunk.
Look at that.
But when he leaned down to study the tracks, he saw they had a cloven hoof, like those left by deer, but larger.
Oh,
Much
wow.
larger.
Wait, that's that one falls
He
that I
knew
saw.
instantly. He had seen me.
I don't know what this falls is called. Do you? Look how pretty. Well, this is on one of my postcards. I'll have to look at it. I don't remember which one this is.
Lydia, look out.
There's a little chipmunk again.
Oh,
These chipmunks are everywhere. Is that a chipmunk?
it's a little squirrel.
Is that a pike owl?
Mom, over here! It's over here! There's two!
They're different from the squirrels where I
Still
can...
chipmunks.
Oh, they are? Big ones.
They'll get big.
Well, here's a striped squirrel up there.
We saw a coyote. On the way. Where did we see coyote, Mom? Mom, where did we see coyote?
Near our campground.
Dead trees, and walking with a kind of forward churning motion, he spent the rest of the day bringing
This is
them wood
pretty.
until he had a huge pile next to the shelter. Enough for a week. It was incredible, he thought, how the snowshoe seemed to change everything, change his whole attitude. He'd been closing down, he realized, settling into the shelter,
Whoa.
not paying attention to things, getting more and more into his own thinking. And the shoes changed all that. He felt like moving, hunting, seeing things, doing things again. Thinking of hunting brought his food supply into his thoughts, and he brushed the snow away from the moose meat, and was stunned to see how much he'd eaten. He hadn't gained weight, had lost a small amount as a matter of fact, and yet apparently, without knowing it, had been eating like a wolf. He'd eaten both front shoulders, the back and hump area, and one back leg. All the meat was chopped off the bones in those areas. All he really had left was the left rear leg, and then chopping and boiling the bones to make the meat jelly stew. He would have to hunt again. And that night he spent the hours until he slept, making sure his war bow and big arrows were in shape, checking the lance and sharpening the hatchet and knife, and retightening his slits.
Look at that mountain, guys. Are you looking?
And gathering wood all day. That night,
Now look over here to the right.
stunned.
Good
He
grief.
heard trees exploding again. Then he slept hard and down and tight in his shelter, and dreamed of walking on white clouds.
Oh my goodness, look at all these rocks.
Chapter 15.
Goodness.
Everything had changed. Somehow, he had thought that it would be like normal hunting, except colder and whiter. But it wasn't.
People climbing
It
over
all
there?
seemed a different world. He made a breakfast stew and ate it while it was still dark,
and didn't open the shelter until close to 10, when the sun was well up. Brian had never felt such cold. Never thought he would see it, never how cold he couldn't guess. But when he went to the bathroom, some of his urine froze, and the spit bounced. Still, he did not feel cold. There was no wind, not a breath, and he soon warmed inside his parka as he walked
down there.
and started to hunt. He hadn't shot in a while and wanted to try some practice shots, but knew he would lose the arrows beneath the snow. He settled for pulling the bow back a few times and flexing his muscles, and found that because the parka was so bulky, he had to lean forward a bit to let the bowstring clear his sleeve. Also, he couldn't keep his mitten off for long or his hand would freeze, so he would have to have time to shake the mitten off before shooting. Game was everywhere, upper in some ways. He would have to kill perhaps 150 rabbits to equal one moose. As it happened, he did not get him.
Be on the right side of the road to
I
take a
believe there's
picture.
an elk right there.
Yeah, we'll have to.
Okay.
Either that or I'll...
I will. Go on. I decided to buy a book of postcards instead of going through this thing. Just look at the pictures. A book of postcards. I'm not going on that trail.
And here come the ones pulling up the end.
I'm not going up there. Dad, like, hello, I'm going. Where's the boy? Actually, I think it's behind the boy.
You are going to. It's not going to.
Here's about it. And look at it.
Running.
gonna be easy.
Daddy, I need to get water out so don't go.
This way. Now, this would be really cool if it had water in it.
Wait.
Timmy, we just walked from way over there in that store. You see that? You know what? We've accomplished a lot. We're kind of like Boy Scouts. I'm not sure why, but they're just babies. And that little tiny baby right there?
Mm-hmm. Little tiny horns on it.
Is that a baby too?
That's it, like the yearlings.
All these buffalo bison. Here, if you want to take another picture. Or I can. That's a bull over there. What a big buffalo head over there. Is that it?
No.
Watch out for cars. That one's looking at us. We gotta go. His hair's up too. Wow, that's as close as I've been to one. Look at that big one. So over here. Her hair is really shedding.
Harry knew the whole mystery might be solved tomorrow. He wasn't bothered as much as to sleep tonight in the victory. And to wonder if she did see the attacker, said Ron, looking sadly at Hermione's rigid face. Because if he sneaked up on the mole, no one will ever know. But Harry wasn't looking at Hermione's face. He was more interested in Harry smoothed it out easily, and Ron leaned close to
Buffalo
read
running
it
down
too.
there.
bears in the cage. Timmy, we want a bear in the cage.
Take a picture of him.
Right alongside the road.
Okay, let's go down there. Okay, that one has the eagles. Now you can get over there. Over here, Pat.
Wriggly old tree there. How dangerous would it be to... I say as far as that tree there. You hear the river roaring from a distance.
Yeah, down there I see the white water and the spray.
Okay, guys. You can't get a good picture. Okay. I'm not taking any more pictures until...
No.
Might be somebody standing by the river or something. Come up there.
There's a trail down there, Chris.
Inside the Canyon Visitor Center. juice. Says it's rolling in the dust to get rid of bugs. What was that sound? Home, home on the range.
Odor. It was eerie, spine-tingling, unearthly. It lifted the hair on Harry's scalp and made his heart feel as though it was swelling to twice its normal size. Then, as the music reached such a pitch that Harry felt it vibrating inside his own ribs, flames erupted at the top of the nearest pillar. A crimson bird the size of a swan had appeared, piping its weird music to the vaulted ceiling. It had a glittering golden tail as long as a peacock's and gleaming golden talons, which were gripping a ragged bundle. A second later, the bird was flying straight at Harry. It dropped the ragged thing it was carrying at his feet, then landed grinned awkwardly as Dumbledore watched him. "And so you met Tom Riddle," said Dumbledore thoughtfully. "I imagined he was most interested in you." Suddenly, something that was nagging at Harry came like him. "Strange likenesses," he said. "Did he now?" said Dumbledore, looking thoughtfully at Harry from under his thick silver eyebrows. "And what do you think, Harry?" "I don't think I'm like him," said Harry, more loudly than he'd intended. I'm in Gryffindor. But he fell silent, a lurking doubt resurfacing in his mind. "Professor," he started again after a moment, "the Sorting Hat told me I'd have done well in Slytherin. Everyone thought I was Slytherin's heir for a while because I can speak Parseltongue." "You can speak Parseltongue, Voldemort, who is the last remaining ancestor of Salazar Slytherin, can speak Parseltongue. Unless I'm much mistaken, he transferred some of his own powers to you the night he gave you that scar. Not something he intended to do, I'm sure." Voldemort put a bit of himself into... "So I should be in Slytherin," Harry said, looking desperately into Dumbledore's face. "The Sorting Hat could see Slytherin's power in me, and it put you in Gryffindor," said Dumbledore calmly. "Listen to me, Harry. You happen to have many qualities Salazar Slytherin's moustache quivering again, yet the Sorting Hat placed you in Gryffindor. You know why that was? Think." "It only put me in Gryffindor," said Harry in a very different from Tom Riddle. "It is our choices, Harry, that show what we truly are, far more than us. The governor suspended you, but you still saw fit to return to Hogwarts." "Well, you see, Lucius, governors contacted me today. It was something like being caught in a hailstorm of owls, to tell the truth. They'd heard that Arthur Weasley's daughter had been killed and wanted me back here at once. They seemed strange tales, they told me. Look at that. Several of them seemed to think that you had threatened to curse their family," said Dumbledore. "But this time, Lord Voldemort was acting through somebody else, by means of this diary." He held up the small black book with a large hole through the center, watching Mr. Malfoy, his great eyes fixed meaningfully on Harry. He kept pointing at the diary, then at Mr. Malfoy, and then hitting himself hard on the head with his fist. I see, said Mr. Malfoy slowly to Dumbledore. A clever plan, said Dumbledore in a level voice, are one of our most prominent pure-blood families. Imagine the effect on Arthur Weasley and his Muggle Protection Act if his own daughter was discovered attacking and killing Muggle-borns. Very fortunate the diary was discovered and Riddle's memories wiped from it. Who knows what the consequences might have been otherwise?
This is Cook City? Is this what this is?
There's the Chamber of Commerce.
Wow, this is a big town.
No, I didn't. You are.
We're stealing firewood. We're going to abandoned campsites and stealing their wood. We're mean. Yes, that is proof that we are thieves.
Not sure what the name of this river is. But all these rocks and the turbulence, gorgeous.
Hi.
Going to Kepler Cascades.
This is a very long hiking path. I see somebody I know. Hello. Say hi. More of Kepler's Cascades. And straight down.
That's a lot of elk.
Let's go. Yeah, I see.
No. Was that land?
Zoom out. What is wrong with the zoo? It's Yellowstone. See any regular stores? I thought West Yellowstone was in Idaho. I really did. This is Montana. Automotive. This is the Firehole River, is that right?
I'm not sure if it's
Anyway, we're gonna go up, whoa! We're gonna go up to Firehole Falls pretty soon, right? Rapids.
here. Look, I was going to try to find that guy.
Okay, let's go rock climbing up there. Look up straight ahead, guys. We're gonna go rock climbing up that. Got your ropes handy? Whoa.
Oh, then you'll just have to take one.
It's pretty. Never know what you're gonna find when you just take a drive. Oh, the mountain. Oh. No, it's gorgeous. Sun's in my eyes. Oh, that's just rapids. Guys, are you looking out the window? I don't think you are. It's so sunny, it's in my eyes.
Firehole Falls.
Firehole Falls. This canyon is beautiful. This is Firehole Canyon. I think. I don't know. It's kind of a cascading falls, isn't it? Look at that hole in that rock down there. Isn't that neat? Courtney.
What?
Down there's a hole. I wish you could see how big it was in real life. That's about the way. It was Miss Harper. Smoke, smoke, smoke. Oh, it's just geysers. Timmy, would you like to go back to the van?
I was just playing.
Well, don't do it.
Bison.
Well, don't go near it. I don't want to get charged. What was that again? Hey, I can't. Ow. What were you doing?
I don't know.
Don't climb on that stuff. Green water, water. That's funky. Midway Geyser Basin, that's what this place is. That's it. All this water flows away from those geysers. It's geyser water. Look, it's geyser water. I think everybody's a little weird tonight. It smells nice.
Does not. What will it do? Think you will do it? Come on, Daddy. Why are there so many?
if we can get some pictures of some hikers or some rock climbers. There's hikers over there.
On those rocks.
We zoomed all the way in, seeing how steady we can hold this. There should be some people climbing a mountain. I don't know if we can get this. We have a little girl here who has been walking on rocks, but unfortunately, she doesn't walk very well on rocks. Do you? Do you walk real well on rocks?
Look above that on the
Or do you have problems walking on rocks? Don't throw rocks at me.
$1 million cowboy bar up there. Boy, is this a tourist-trap town. There is a catalog at Coldwater Creek Clothing. There's Eddie Bauer.
You could ride your bike to everything.
It's a Bank of Jackson Hole. Look at these hotels over here. Antler Motel. I do too. I'm glad you turned it. That place, man.
Motion Incorporated in Cheyenne, member of the New York Stock Exchange and SIPC. The number is 800-759-3246.
Please turn around and go back. This music. That was the town hall. Country. This seems, look at these antlers, guys. And there's a stagecoach over there.
Don't be alarmed. I'm contacting you telepathically to
See that antler archway?
Right now, Priceline.com has tons of low-cost airfare to all the high-class places you want.
Right here, guys. Up here.
Log on.
Yeah, I saw it.
Price. And then mentally prepare yourself to save a cost.
Harry wandered dispiritedly toward the library, but halfway there he changed his mind. He didn't feel like working. He turned around and came face to face with Filch, who had obviously just seen off the last of the Hogsmeade visitors.
This is our last night at Yellowstone, and this is Lewis Falls.
Don't do that.
Standing on these big rocks. My feet. Okay, I guess we better go. I hate to leave this place. Back to Flatlands, though. Even in the morning to go see Mount Rushmore. So the next thing on this tape will probably be that to say.
Yeah, well.
But from what? $2 extra from what?
It'd either be $22.50. She's gonna knock off one kid.
Knock it off.
Yeah, but it's gonna be either $22.50 or $25.50. $25.50 with electric, $22.50 without.
Are there any more Pop-Tarts left?
No. Because it got trash in it. Let's see. There's a 31 and 34.
What a fort. That's weird.
Okay, this site here is open. 31.
What is Dad doing? Recording, but it's not focusing. Oh, I missed it.
Pretty simple. Just did you pick up your phone, you start dialing the app at 1-800-833-92. That'll be called Tammy to qualify to win the backyard barbecue party. I'll give you the title.
Going through Custer State Park.
Just a little bit for your friends at Oldies Radio.
Too bad I missed the buffalo. This thing was taking forever to...
Donkeys.
What are these donkeys on the road for?
Descending on Liverpool. Big old Beatles celebration.
What?
The whole thing revolves around
Wild donkeys?
Liverpool, where the song you just heard.
How could they be on the road?
Upright Steinway was sold at auction last $2 million. And the person that bought it turns out to be rock star George Michael. Donated it to the Beatles.
If you beat, they might get scared. Oh my gosh. What are these donkeys? Are these wild donkeys?
Exactly like the room in
Oh, they're biting each other.
The other one.
Oh my gosh. Oh, hello. Oh my word. Hello. Don't hit him. He's not moving. Move out of the way.
He will.
Gosh. Wait. Stop. Ah, wrong place to stop. Hey, there it is. I can see it a little closer.
Okay, I'm going. Well, just wait. We'll see.
By the time it focused, we were past it.
How come in people's puzzles, they always have it, like, there's nothing above them, it's just their heads, but it's really
Well,
a picture card.
What they're taking pictures of is down below.
There it is.
So you don't see it.
Really good. Through those trees, Lydia. Did you see a little bit of it through there? Somewhere. There it is. Can't get it clear. That is awesome.
What's the one beside your
You see it? Lyndon, can you see it? Oh. I missed it. There it is. There it is. Oh, awesome. That is so cool. We're seeing something that is like so famous, you guys.
What, remote parking or...
No.
Wonder what that guy up there is doing.
Those are giants compared to us. To you?
You never looked at that, do you? They're neat. You see it on pictures and stuff, but you don't know.
Yeah, see what that guy's doing. Here we can see it washing his nose.
He's got a hammer though.
Yeah. Well, I made the first one head twin first and we carried him
Yeah, on that.
Yeah.
George?
Pardon?
What did you get from Hardy's Pizza George?
I got 28 out of that.
You just see like
Lydia, that's hard. That's far enough.
So it's not worth it. Well, should we go on that little trail and see where it goes? See where it goes? Sure.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
The process of trying to get the kids to pose. You look like such bright angels now. Oh well.
You're coming down more than going up.
Yeah.
Which helps.
How we doing?
Well, Axel,
Okay.
I was going to go home and tell everyone I knew this German.
Eagle.
Now I can't.
Yes, that's an eagle. Eagle. Eagle.
Gotta get a picture of him. Go ahead.
Alan.
Cool. He was tall, with long hair that he had tied back in a ponytail. He was wearing an earring with what looked like a fang dangling from it. Bill's clothes would not have looked out of place at a rock concert, except that Harry recognized his boots to be made not of leather, but of dragon hide. Before any of them could say anything else, there...
I'm right near the sun. Don't go anywhere. I wanted to get... Yeah, get the can... Oh, it's in the backpack. This is a real prairie dog town. That is funny.
No, let Timmy.
Where is it? Did it go away?
There's one right here. Zoom in. Here. Oh, turn it on. Is it turned on? Okay. See where it says T and W? T is really
Do you want me to take a picture of it, Timmy?
Why don't you let Mom, since she's got
I don't see any more of them. Oh.
That little 90 feet, 2-foot high face.
Do you believe each day has its own rewards? Do you believe
do the Zoom, that's the only thing. Lost it. Where'd it go? What in the world?
Here, let me see the...
Chief Crazy Horse was very far away.